So we talk about leadership. So the question is, what is leadership? Leadership has so many definitions across, the industry and the world. But what comes to mind at this time, and I'll be speaking to, is this: leadership is the ability to inspire and influence others towards achieving a common goal, right? And there are various examples that can back this up. Everybody in his or her own right is a leader, right? As long as you're able to bring people together and convince them to achieve a goal that is common to them all, then you're also a leader. The examples of leadership could be how roles play out in the family setup, the father, the mother, and the children, right? The father can, bring the wife and the children together and talk about the vision and the plans for the family, right? How money needs to be raised for the children to get the best of education, how money needs to be raised for the wife to have her own business or to run her own thing, and how at the end of the day the family itself can be prosperous and fulfill their key objectives, right? Another area where you can speak to where leadership is shown is also in the schools, right in your school, where you have prefects who have been appointed to oversee the affairs, of the school from a student point of view, but having to work closely with the teachers and other stakeholders within the school to ensure that the key objectives of the schools are achieved, right? Another area where we can cite an example of leadership is also the governance of the country or the governance of the state, where you have the president, working with his cabinet and other tiers of government to ensure that they steer the ship of the country right, and achieve prosperity in the areas of the economy, in the areas of politics, in the areas of good governance, and the rest of it, right? So it is not only when you're in politics that you can be considered as a leader and exhibiting leadership traits. No. Leadership starts with each and every one of us. We have the capacity, we have the grace to be leaders in our own right, wherever we find ourselves. Okay, so there are things to talk about in the area of leadership. One of the thing that comes to mind greatly and quickly is that leaders motivate others and empower others, right? There's no way you can influence, there's no way you can inspire without motivating and empowering the people that you want to influence or inspire. They need to be motivated, they need to be empowered. So leaders go all out to motivate and empower others, to buy into the vision of that common goal and to contribute their own quota in achieving that common goal. Again, leadership is not limited by age or position. I'd given several examples earlier where I referred to cases in the homes, cases in school, and cases, in actual governance of the country or state. So it's not by age, it's not by gender, it's not by position. Again, we're all leaders in our own right. Among siblings, leadership traits can be exhibited, right? Siblings can come together with the mindset of trying to get, the home properly set up for Christmas without having to burden their parents too much. And they could decide amongst themselves, to look for funds and decide on things to do in the house to make the home, ready and looking very nice, for Christmas, without even the parents knowing. Now, in such a way, whoever took the lead in that case has exhibited leadership, traits and was able to influence and inspire the other siblings to agree, right, with that common goal, and they went ahead to execute it. So leadership is not limited to age, it's not limited to position, and it's not limited to gender. We are all leaders in our own right. Every person has the potential to be a leader. Every person has the potential to be a leader. So we must, be deliberate about exercising, our leadership capabilities, because that is truly how we can grow and move, the affairs of our neighborhood or country at large or world at large forward. Another point to talk about is why leadership matters. So why does leadership matter? Why are we so interested in leadership? Why does it matter? Right? Leadership is very critical for growth. For those who are Christians here, I mean, the first few verses of the Bible talks about how the world was um, without form, was disorderly, and God had to make it orderly before He started His creation. One of the benefits of leadership is to ensure that there's orderliness in place before there can be growth, before there can be progress. There must be order. So leadership is very critical and important for any society, for any family, or for any organization to move forward. It's critical, right? So developing leadership skills prepares each and every one of us for future roles and responsibilities. Cut. Right. Okay, another reason why leadership matters, right, is because leadership fosters personal growth, confidence, and self awareness. It helps you to be self aware. There's a case of a very popular leader in Lagos State, and he shared a testimony how he was in traffic in Lagos, right? And some things happened to his vehicle by an oncoming commercial bus, and in his mind, the real reaction was for him to get down and exhibit, traits that he won't be proud of. That immediately he stepped out and was about to overreact, that there was somebody in the bus, in the commercial bus, that knew him. And that person mentioned his name. Immediately that person mentioned his name, he quickly comported himself, right? Because the person in the bus called out his leadership position. So immediately he heard that, he was able to readjust and comport himself, and he dealt with that situation in a different but more proper, manner. So leadership helps us to be self-aware. It helps us to build our confidence level, and it also helps us with our own personal growth. Leaders are known to be very heavy when it comes to reading. Reading books, journals, interviews, reports, and all that, so that they can have more knowledge to deal with, present issues or even future issues. So it helps a lot with personal development. Another very important reason why leadership matters is because it helps to create positive impact in the environment, which is also very critical. The mindset of a good leader is on how to make a positive change in his or an environment. So leadership brings in this perspective into the thinking of a good leader. And the question that such a leader would be asking himself or herself most of the time is, how do I improve the lives of people around me? How do I make my environment better? What good can I leave behind? And these are the real key and important questions that each of us need to be asking ourselves on a daily basis. Now, leadership doesn't come alone. It also comes with, some key attributes in order to make such leadership deliverables more valuable, long lasting, and positively impacting. And what one of such traits is integrity. When leaders lead with integrity, there's always a positive impact on their environment and also on the people that they lead. It helps to build trust in the people that they lead. It helps to build trust even in the team that works closely with the leader to achieve, his or her objectives. It allows the leader to also be fulfilled, right? And also able to leave a long-lasting legacy where the leader looks back at years in the future and pats himself or herself at the back for having done a very good job. Leading by example helps to uphold ethical standards. And this is critical for us to be able to pass these traits from generation to generation and to leave a long-lasting legacy behind. Having talked about leadership, it's also important to talk about vision, which also speaks to the topic of this discussion. So the question is, what is vision? So I ask you, what is vision? What do you understand, about vision? What's your understanding of vision? Now, vision is a compelling and inspiring picture of the future that you want to create. So the question is, what can you see? What future do you want to create? Are you seeing that future now? Again, vision is a compelling and inspiring picture of the future you want to create, either for yourself or for your siblings or for your friends or for your family or for your nation. What is that picture that you see? Vision is very powerful. So a clear vision provides direction and purpose. If you indeed have a very clear vision in place, it helps with direction and purpose. It serves as a guide regarding the steps you take, to fulfilling that vision. If you cannot see, there's no way you can get there, except you get there by accident, which most often will not happen. To get to your destination, you must know where you are going, and you must have a picture of where you are going in mind. Vision helps to fuel our passion and motivate our actions to achieve our goals and objectives. Visionary leaders inspires others to join them on the journey. There's no other way to inspire other people to join you on a journey without painting the picture clear enough in such a way that they can also align with it. Vision is a very powerful tool, and leaders must embrace it. So the question to you today is, what can you see? What can you see about yourself? What can you see about your family? What can you see about your nation, Nigeria? What can you see about the world? In another 10, 15, 20 years' time, what kind of picture of yourself do you have? What kind of picture of your family do you have? What kind of picture of Nigeria do you have in your mind? What do you expect to be your case, your position in that future? What do you expect to be the position of your family in that future? What do you expect to be the position of your country in that picture. We must be able to have a clear picture with clear goals and objectives, and that picture must constantly reside in our heads, constantly reside in your heads as well. The next point of discussion will be how to develop this vision. So how do you develop vision? To develop vision, you need to reflect on your values. You need to reflect on your passion. You need to reflect on your aspirations. These are traits that can help you build a clear vision that you want. You need to be able to deeply identify issues or causes that you deeply care about. There's so many stories we hear these days of people who had very humble backgrounds, who were poor while growing up. They couldn't afford, 3 square meals. It was a challenge for them to go to school. And over the years, they became successful, right? And they reflect on the past. And they speak to specific traits that they had to exhibit to have made them successful. How their passion, how their determination to succeed had propelled them into doing what they had to do to make themselves succeed. And there are so many examples out there. Victor Osimhen, who is the current CAF Player of the Year, had such humble background. But several years after, he's a success today. Not just a success for himself, but a success for his country, a success for his family, a success for the world. If Osimhen can achieve it, you also can achieve it. But the question is, what picture of yourself do you currently have, of your future? You need to be able to envision that positive change you want for yourself in that future. So in 10 years' time, I want to be a medical doctor. In 10 years' time, I want to be an engineer. In 10 years' time, I want to be a pilot. What do you see about yourself? You must be able to see a clear picture about yourself in that your beautiful future that you desire within your vision. In addition to being able to determine what your vision is, you also need to be able to communicate your vision. It's very important. You need to be able to articulate it, write it down clearly. You need to be able to listen to the stories of people who have gone ahead of you on the kind of path that aligns with the vision that you look forward to for yourself. If the vision for yourself in the next 10 to 15 years' time is to be a medical doctor, it's not out of place for you to look for mentors or family members that are already medical doctors and listen to their own stories and see if you can learn 1 or 2 things from their stories in order to enhance your own plans of also becoming a medical doctor. You need to be able to read books, watch videos that speak to that vision that you desire for yourself. This is very important and very critical. Having spoken to leadership and vision, it's also important to also talk about challenges. There's no leadership without challenges. In fact, the strength of leadership is the ability to overcome challenges. And you can't just have vision of a positive future for yourself and think it will just be a stroll in the park. It comes with hard work. It comes with dedication. It comes with overcoming challenges. So you should never be discouraged when obstacles or challenges come your way. In fact, you should be excited and happy about it, because that should tell you clearly that you're on the right path. And you know for a fact that when you address these challenges, you are a step closer to achieving your goals and objectives. Challenges must not make you run away. Challenges are meant to strengthen you and make you better at your person and what you are looking out for. So embrace challenges. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth and learning. Don't run away from them. And don't think the end of the road has come for you. No. It's a step in the right direction for you to achieve your goals and objectives. So persevere, stay resilient, and seek support from people around you in order for you to continue, despite when such challenges come. It will always pass. Challenges are always temporary and they will always pass. Leadership also comes with empowering others. It's very critical. You cannot inspire and convince people to work with you to achieve a common goal without motivating and empowering people, other people. You must be able to empower and uplift people around you to be able to see the vision you are seeing. Peradventure, they are not seeing it. You must be able to paint that picture, communicate it to them, empower and motivate them to be able to see that vision as well. So a lot of teachings, a lot of trainings, a lot of support would have to be given to people around you. Of course, the relevant people around you, to be able to have them see your vision the way it is and support that vision and run with that vision with you. And it's also critical as leaders that you must be able to delegate. A leader cannot do it alone. You must be able to identify dependable and trustworthy people around you to also be able to delegate to. This will encourage those people, and it will also help you too as a leader, so that you can focus on more critical and more important tasks that will move the overall objective of the group, forward. And when the achievements, learn to celebrate. Celebrate small wins, celebrate big wins. Do not wait for the big wins alone to celebrate. No, you must be able to celebrate small and celebrate big. This will in turn also encourage and motivate the people who have embraced your vision with you and who are willing and happy to run with that vision with you. So great leaders always empower their followers, always motivate their followers in order to be able to achieve that desired result. So where does leadership and vision meet? Leadership and vision, where do they meet? So leadership and vision meets at the point where the outcome and objective at the end of the day is to be able to develop positive change agents who are focused on the goals and objectives of the association or the organization, and are willing and ready to work with the leader to pursue those goals and objectives that have been painted clearly as a vision. Pursue it to the end and realize it. That is where leadership and vision meet. Both allows for initiatives to be taken and changes positive changes, right, to be achieved. However, it's important to start small, then you grow. You build from ground up in bits and pieces until it becomes bigger and you're able to push for bigger goals and objectives. Also very important, it's also very important to collaborate with like minds, people who see things the way you see it, right? Who are aligned with your vision, who also have the resources to also support your vision. You must be ready as a leader to be able to cooperate and collaborate with like minds in order to be able to achieve your vision. What this will do is that it will help you, amplify the impact of your efforts in achieving your vision. So in conclusion, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way, according to John C. Maxwell. And this is very key because a blind man cannot lead those that are not blind. You need to know the way before you can show others the way. And even after showing others the way, you must be willing and ready to go the way and helping the other people who you've shown to also go this way. That is the definition of a true leader according to John C. Maxwell. And you also need to remember that you all seated here now are the leaders of tomorrow. And it is important you start exhibiting leadership traits from today. Do not wait. You are a leader in yourself. And you need to start demonstrating it from today. Don't think that you need to grow to a certain age or you need to have, a certain amount of money in your bank account or you need to get to a certain stage in life before you can start exhibiting leadership traits. No. You are a leader from birth. You are a leader today. All you need to start doing from today is start exhibiting those leadership traits. So, dear children, dear pupils, dear students, embrace leadership today and make a positive difference in your own life, in the lives of people around you, in the life of your society, in the life of your nation, and the world at large. Thank you so much. It's been a privilege having this discussion with you or having this session with you. I believe with the few words of mine and the explanations I've given, you are able to take with you something very important, something very meaningful, and something very impactful. And I expect that going forward, your lives will not remain the same. You're in your own life, in the life of people around you, and that of your nation and the world in general. Thank you so much.